world, they say. See interesting people. Meet interesting places. Here we are. Yeah, you like that? Yeah. And here we are, doing laundry.
Fucking wars, drugs to take and bets to make. Power station.
So in the glorious life of a roadie, on a day off, what do? We go out and do laundry. There's either two choices: to spend $20 on the road and have them do it for you, or on your day off, get in the car or walk and do your laundry.
It's a job, you know. There's nothing, very little romantic about it. It's a job and it's a damn hard one. But sure beats working. Right? It is definitely a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle for my wife as well. It's a lifestyle that.
Did it take your wife? Did it take your wife a while to get used to the lifestyle?
No, she met me. I was a roadie. She knew what she was getting into. Dummy.
One of each in the deluxe section, one of everything. Call me anything you want, just don't call me late for dessert.
My name's McMillan.
How long have you been in the industry?
12 years, since 2012, and it's 2024 now.
You do,
I'm the video engineer for this particular job, so I look after all the infrastructure for all the cameras and video signals. I make sure all the cameras look correct during the show, make sure the director gets all the bits and pieces they need to make the show happen. I'm talking to the camera guys, making sure they're all happy, and just generally technically facilitating.
Is today's show more of a spectacle than it was 10 years ago? The music is more secondary and...
I see what you're saying. I think it depends on the act, Like if you're doing like a hip-hop thing or like an electronic music thing, then yeah, it's like a lot about the visual stuff. But if you're doing... There's still some like gigs where it's more about the band, than it is the visual. But I guess it depends on the gig. It's definitely... Probably since I started, not that much different, maybe. You notice it between different gigs where it's more of a corporate function than it is a like musical production. These guys are quite good because they actually like seem to enjoy playing. They get up there, they play, they rehearse, they sort of play instruments. There's obviously a lot of production in it, but they're also just they seem to be having fun. Whereas there's other gigs that we collectively do where it's like it's clearly just printing money for someone, and it's less about like them having fun and it's more about like making money, because it's how they make money, I guess, these days.
My name is Eric Wuzu.
Okay.
I've been in the industry for 9 years. I've worn a lot of hats in this industry. About like the
concerts themselves, music today.
It's hard for me to tell because I've only been doing this since 2015. And I don't know. But when you put it like that, it's kind of interesting. Because, like, when you do look at these shows, it is about the lights and the lasers and all the visual effects, which adds to the production. And then if you have a dope artist as well, then it just makes for an overall good show. Well, you can do it way easier now these days. I guess things go through changes. Does it have a soul? I guess it depends on the intention, if that makes any sense. Of course, like you have iconic bands that have made an impact in the industry that can never be mimicked or anything. We can only use them as inspiration for moving forward. I don't know, that's my take on it.
Okay, that's awesome.
My name is Gator.
Gator. How long have you been in the industry?
Been in some form or another, been doing touring for 24 years.
Yeah, it definitely feels different, even in the last 4 or 5 years. Definitely seems like it's less on just the music and the performance and the image of the artist. It's about the video and the lights. The lighting's always been a part of it. It seems to be more of a visual spectacle that isn't just about coming to see just the artist. There's that video aspect as well that goes along with it. Yeah, I feel like some of the soul has been lost out of rock and roll. It used to be just a couple friends getting together and jamming and coming up with some ideas and doing it for themselves. And now it's all processed in a lot of cases, in most cases anymore. It's all electronic. You don't hear a lot of folks doing analog recordings anymore. And when you do, it's a story, right? That, now we're gonna go and do an analog recording. It's all Pro Tools, it's all digitized, and it's all auto-corrected, auto-tuned. And even in the live show, it seems like it's on a timeline, right? Like there's very little room for improvisation or for changes to the set or changes to the show. It's pretty much A to B all the way through in most cases anymore. So it's rare. It's something that's being lost in the live show, I think.
Hey, I'm Martin de Schacht. I've been in this business since 2016. Started freelancing in Belgium and then eventually stepped up toward international freelancing. Absolutely. Obviously music is always first up because everything is based on that, rhythmically, melodically. Visuals are based on all that, but the amount of visual spectacle has definitely been upped throughout the years, also with technological advancements within video, LED and whatsoever, You can still find it. You won't find it in every big production, but there's still bands out there that do have that do carry that with them because it's the way they started playing music, and they still do so. But then there's also groups that it's just the complete opposite, and I do think that it's they're doing tours because it also makes them a ton of money. But you can with big productions, like I said, there's still guys out there. But if you want soul, I think we got to start looking at the smaller venues, even jazz clubs and whatsoever. There's good independent artists out there that still offer that and also have that soul of rock and roll within them.
I am John Shidley. People call me Badge. I am the stage manager out here on the Lincoln Park run. Do I think music has lost its soul? No, actually. I think people themselves have lost their soul, and I think that because we took music out of the classrooms, no one knows how to play a fucking instrument anymore. And I think because we have an ongoing mental health and opiate epidemic, that because no one knows how to play an instrument and they're all strung out on heroin and they don't know how to fucking do things anymore, that no one is making good songs. Who's the fucking comedian that had the whole bit about all your favorite bands, made music while fucked up on drugs? And there's some truth in that. I think people can't cope with their feelings anymore. And I think because they can't cope with their feelings, they don't know how to harness and channel that energy into positive things of making timeless songs. You can do some cool shit with computers, but stealing other people's art to make your art is still art. So I don't think it's lost its soul. I think people have lost their soul. Music will always be music. Anyone can make a fucking song with fucking 3 chords. But if no one knows how to fucking play 3 chords, and if no one knows where to even go fucking get an instrument where you can play 3 chords on, that's what the issue is. So yeah.
My name is Dan Manier. I am a project manager for Production Resource Group. My job as a production manager entails budgets, crewing, putting together equipment lists and the quotes we do for concert touring. I've been doing this since 2013. I started as a cable guy for PRG Nocturne, made my way up into this project management role. Yeah, I think when I first got started, I was part of a video company that was part of that spectacle. So that it's hard to say that I kind of came in on a part of it where the music was the most important part of it, and not ever working in an audio capacity. Working in production is only spectacle for me. I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase it. When I first started, it was kind of a lower res, LED screens was the ticket, some projection, but it was starting to become the lower res, bigger screens were becoming the stadium look. And it was more than iMag at that point. They started bringing in content, and content basically became king of the show. And now the media servers are the most important part of a show than a camera shot. And what that entails is just a computer playing back some files compared to even just what a good analog or digital show would have been, even just visually on camera. Now it's purely digital on a playback from a computer standpoint. But from my experience, if the question is, has it become more of a spectacle? I do think it's become way more of a spectacle and way less about the music, and just the amount of money these artists are spending these days on the rigs. Because even just the smallest acts with just a one-hit wonder now are getting these massive productions and spending insane amount of money just to give that one, what did we do that somebody else didn't do? And I think that's becoming more of just like the norm, and unfortunate to, the music itself. It's just become more of a, how much more can we charge for this ticket based on how much more money we spent on the spectacle we're trying to show. Well, absolutely. I think the soul has been ripped out of music for sure with the digital, like the saturation of common music norms. I'm a former musician. I understand 1/5 or 1/2/5/1 or 1/4/5/1. People have taken that really, really complicated music theory and washed it out and made it extremely dumb. And anybody can grab that sample and put together a song, and they don't understand why anymore. It's just they heard it, it sounded good, and somebody else bobbed their head to it, and it's a hit. I don't know how we get to this point, but as a person who's like a legendary rock kind of guy, I'm a Zeppelin, Beatles through and through. It's a shame, it's almost kind of like hard to work in the industry sometimes, knowing what's going on in the background, but here we are, and got to make money somehow. But
My background, let's see. Well, before I did this, I was a Shakespearean actor, restaurant manager, granite shop owner, you name it. This is my fourth interesting life. I've been a roadie for about 27 years now. I have toured with the Rolling Stones, Beyonce, Metallica, Linkin Park. I've seen a lot of, I don't know how I would put that. When I started, it was at the very end of what probably were considered the pirate ship days of being a roadie. People were starting to be more accountable because of cell phones and computers and more instant communication. I agree with that to a point. I think music today appeals to more of the senses, which is probably better in keeping with today's audience. Today's audience expects a multi-level experience, whereas back when it wasn't available, when I was a kid, you weren't taught to look for that. So the music has definitely become a component of the concert experience rather than the experience itself. I would agree with that completely.
So I hope you enjoyed that little segment about the life on the road of a roadie? Well, really, it's only one day, laundry day, which is a pretty damn important day because, you know, sometimes we're out there for months or weeks at a time and got to get that laundry done. Either do it yourself or send it to production to do it for you. But that was just a little peek into that. And then, got to hear some thoughts from some roadies on behind the scenes, some of the changes, some of the lifestyle, some things that they do. And this was the crew from Linkin Park that I was with when Linkin Park came out of retirement in 2024. So I hope you appreciated, seeing a little bit and hearing a little bit from the roadies. But one thing I want you to remember, when you're preparing to go for that show, getting partied up and drink it up and liquor it up and drink it up, whatever that means. And when you're getting ready to have a good time at the concert, we're there setting up for you to make sure that concert goes good for you so you enjoy it. And when you're finished and you're going home, partying, celebrating, or going to sleep, or whatever you do after a concert, we're there tearing it down and getting it ready on the truck to go to the next city for the next show for the rest of the people in the next state, the next city. So next time you see a roadie, say, thank you guys, thanks for the hard work, we appreciate it. And you know what, we appreciate hearing it. It's a fun job, it's a tough job, and we do it because we love it. And I hope you guys appreciate it. So, to the next time, I'm Tom Pagano. Rock on, my friends.